In this module, we will explain how a vehicle's ignition system works and why you can rely on genuine Ford and Motorcraft ignition parts. Nowadays, most vehicles feature a computer-controlled or distributorless ignition system, where the control module and the triggering device from older ignition systems are replaced by a crank position sensor and a powertrain control module or PCM. In distributorless ignition systems, the ignition coil generates voltage to the spark plugs in order to ignite the air-fuel mixture in the cylinder. Ignition coils are compact electrical transformers that boost voltage as high as 40,000 volts, which is the level needed for proper combustion. The powertrain control module sends a low voltage signal to the ignition coil's primary side. This electrical signal is continuously interrupted as determined by data sent to the PCM from the crank position sensor and other monitoring systems. The crank position sensor uses a magnetic pickup to monitor a timing rotor on the crankshaft. The sensor relays the crankshaft's speed and position to the PCM, which turns off the current to the ignition coil at the precise instant it's needed. When the signal from the PCM is interrupted, it collapses the coil's magnetic field. Each time the field collapses, a surge of electricity passes to the coil's secondary side, which is made up of many windings of hair-like wire. At this point, the current is boosted to the levels needed for combustion and is delivered to the spark plugs. Since the control unit can do so many calculations per second and the crank position sensor doesn't have to be in the distributor, manufacturers simply did away with the distributor entirely. Now a separate ignition coil is provided for each spark plug, and the PCM signals each coil independently. On systems that do not have distributorless ignition, a distributor cap serves as the connecting hub for the spark plug wires and ignition coil wire. In diesel engines, ignition is achieved during the engine's compression stroke. When the air-fuel mixture in the cylinder is compressed, its temperature rises to the point of spontaneous combustion. Since the engine uses air temperature to cause ignition, there's no need for a spark plug. When the engine block is cold, however, air entering the cylinder may not retain enough heat to allow spontaneous combustion. For this reason, many diesel engines contain glow plugs. Glow plugs have a metal tip that transfers heat from a heating element to the cylinders. Once the cylinders are warm enough, the glow plugs are switched off and the engine is able to start. There are several specific product features that differentiate Motorcraft ignition coils from some of its competitors. Patented radio frequency interference suppression minimizes electronic noise. This eliminates the annoying buzz sometimes heard through the radio due to inferior coil assemblies. Patented magnets hold their strength for the entire life of the coil, maintaining proper energy output. Patented steel used in the lamination stack ensures system compatibility with the PCM's ignition coil controls and maintains a consistent magnetic field to develop the required voltage. The coil housing is engineered to withstand temperature extremes without cracking. Multiple coats of insulation on the primary and secondary windings ensure no internal arcing. And because Motorcraft ignition coils are Ford engineering approved, there's a perfect fit the first time, every time. Those Motorcraft advantages aren't just nice to have, they can make a real difference in performance when compared to some of the competitors. Motorcraft's consistent performance is a real product strength that helps ensure customer satisfaction. Lower quality competitive parts can quickly develop problems that are very apparent to customers. Here is design engineer Phil Hines to talk about some possible problems caused by low quality ignition coils.
There can be many drivability concerns, such as the engine will run rough and misfire, causing the check engine light to come on. Fuel economy and engine power can be decreased. Radio frequency interference increases. Now, RFI noise is that annoying little high-pitched noise you can sometimes hear through your radio. Well, that noise also transmits to other electronics in the car, such as your power control module. It can interfere with your body control module, your sensors. It can even interfere with your personal cell phone. Other problems include pre-ignition and detonation, which can cause engine damage, and a weak voltage output can cause increased tailpipe emissions.
Let's talk about a few other ignition parts customers may ask about. Motorcraft synchronizer assemblies are camshaft driven and interface with the cylinder identification sensor to provide proper engine timing, select the proper ignition coil to fire, and direct accurate firing of fuel injectors. They ensure that ignition current and fuel delivery are distributed to the correct cylinder at the proper time. These units are designed and tested to meet Ford engineering specifications for durability under extreme conditions and are designed to work specifically on individual Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. Motorcraft ignition modules receive a signal from the profile ignition pickup and cylinder identification sensor. The module uses these signals to open and close the ground circuit to the ignition coil to fire the spark plugs. Some modules also control timing advance and retard. If a module goes bad, it usually goes completely dead. The engine won't run because there's no trigger voltage to the ignition coil. To provide consistent performance under a wide range of temperatures, Motorcraft's electronic ignition modules undergo rigorous testing under extremely hot and cold conditions. In addition, every module is hot tested in production at a minimum of 90 degrees centigrade. Motorcraft modules for Ford Motor Company vehicles are designed to meet vehicle requirements for conformance to government emissions and fuel economy standards. The Motorcraft quality story also extends to a broad line of spark plugs that fit a wide range of applications, including all Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles, as well as competitive domestic and import brands. Platinum plugs are used in conventional distributor-equipped and coil-on-plug ignition systems. Platinum's high melting point provides excellent resistance to erosion while maintaining optimum engine performance. This is why platinum plugs can offer 60,000 to 100,000 mile service intervals. Fine wire platinum are the most technologically advanced Motorcraft spark plugs. These top-quality plugs offer enhanced ability to ignite the air-fuel mixture, which improves combustion, reduces plug fouling, and provides higher service intervals. Motorcraft also offers new nickel alloy spark plugs with electrodes engineered for extended life without the need for platinum enhancements. Non-extended tip plugs are used for older model car engines, some current model truck engines, and commercial and small engines. Extended tip plugs are used in certain modern engines to prevent fouling at low speeds and to provide self-cleaning action at higher speeds. Extra extended tip plugs are used in specially designed engines and project further into the combustion chamber to achieve optimum gap. Finally, special extended tip plugs are similar to extra extended tip plugs, but may project even further into the combustion chamber. Motorcraft also offers spark plug wire sets. You may want to consider replacing your wires if you are replacing your spark plugs. When it comes to diesel applications, Motorcraft's glow plugs are designed specifically for Ford's Power Stroke diesel engines. Motorcraft glow plugs combine two-spiral technology with premium insulation to ensure an even glow and reliable performance. They are built from high-quality materials and tested to withstand corrosion and last at least 10,000 cycles. Remember that ignition parts represent a vehicle system, so when diagnosing or repairing a possible problem, it's important to examine that entire system. Here are some questions that will help. Are the electrical connections to and from the ignition coil and distributor loose, dry, brittle, or cracking? Are the spark plug wires dry, brittle, or cracking? What's the condition of the spark plugs? Are the boots on the coils torn or frayed? Wires that are loose, dry, brittle, or cracking result in a reduction or loss of electrical current affecting engine performance up to failure of the system. Genuine Ford and Motorcraft ignition parts offer a wide range of benefits, from quality in design and manufacturing to durability and reliable performance. And when you consider the competitive pricing, Genuine Ford and Motorcraft are an obvious choice.